How about that? How about those dogs? We turned down the sound on our monitor here. Well, Georgia winning, final score Georgia 50, LSU 30. So, what do you think? We'll be in here with you for just a few moments as Georgia wraps up the SEC championship game, 50 to 30 over a very talented, very game, never say die LSU football team. And I tell you what, Nussmeier, the LSU quarterback, pretty good quarterback. But Georgia winning this game, winning the SEC championship game. Georgia now going 13-0 in the season. So, what do you think? Let's celebrate a little bit. Let me give you the final statistics that we have from the game tonight. Stetson Bennett, 23 of 29, 274 yards, and 4 touchdowns. There you go. As far as rushing is concerned, Georgia had 274 yards passing, 255 yards rushing. Kenny McIntosh rushed 14 times for 55 yards. Kendall Milton rushed 8 times for 113 yards. Daijun Edwards had 12 rushes for 77 yards. Receiving, Brock Bowers, 6 receptions, 81 yards. McConkey, 5 receptions, 69 yards. Marcus Rosemy, Jack Saint, 3 receptions for 47 yards. Again, Georgia had 274 yards passing. And CBS crew is interviewing Stetson Bennett. And we have the sound turned down. We'll have to go back and listen to what Stetson Bennett has to say. But Georgia winning today, 13-0, 50 to 30 over LSU. And Georgia now securing the number 1 ranking in the college football rankings. So what do you think? We'll be here with you for just a few moments, and you guys can give us a indication of what you're thinking. Karen says absolutely. Trip Block, our good friend, big LSU fan, but he loves Georgia as well. And Trip says, congratulations. I'm back to saying go dogs. Yeah. So Trip's got to have kind of a divided loyalty, but he's a good guy. And he loves LSU and Georgia. And Miss Jean says, I want tickets to the Peach Bowl. Well, Miss Jean, I do too. Oh, me. So Georgia winning the SEC championship game. Georgia, the undisputed champion of the Southeastern Conference, winning today, but it wasn't easy. If my prediction was 34-7, but LSU has got some talent. That Nussmeier dude he's pretty good. He's got a cannon for an arm. But Georgia obviously having the better talent, the most talent on the field. Now, give LSU, a few years, and things may be, a little dicey as far as LSU is concerned. They get some good recruits. So Georgia again winning 50 to 30. We just want your comments. Leola Bartlett, go dogs. Matt Hall chimes in with all that says Georgia is the best, number 1 team in the country. And so now we turn our attention to what's going to happen. And by the way, he just couldn't resist. Gary Danielson just could not resist. He is such an Alabama apologist. And he's bound and determined to do everything that he can do to try to get Alabama in the college football playoffs. It's not going to happen. That thing he was talking about, the best against a resume and all of that, that was, just to put it frankly, that was ridiculous. It'll be TCU in the game, or in the top 4. You'll have Georgia. Now, Michigan has to hold serve. If Michigan holds serve, they'll be number 2. They should win over Purdue, but you never know. Then you'll have TCU, who probably is going to stay the number 3 ranked team in the college football playoffs. I would imagine. They lost in overtime, lost their championship, conference championship game. I don't know. We'll all know about how this shakes out coming up to Mara at noontime. I think it's noon when the committee finally will make its determination. And then we'll have a bunch of howling and a bunch of, up in the air kind of stuff. And people will be complaining and others will be celebrating. So USC, the number 4 ranked team in the college football rankings, lost last night to Utah 47-24. That essentially knocks USC out of the shooting match. But you never know. And then you have TCU falling to Kansas State today. It's a lot of pressure on these kids. They're trying to win a conference championship, and also they know if they win, they're in the Final Four, the college football playoffs. So, it was tough on these guys. Georgia's been there and done that. Georgia played very well offensively, but they did give up a lot defensively. Now, some of that later in the game was against some of the second string, third string guys. And so, LSU racked up some yardage against not the front line guys, but LSU did score 30 points, and Georgia gave up 502 yards passing. The Georgia defense gave up 502 yards passing, gave up 47 yards rushing. So that's 549 yards total offense for LSU against Georgia. That's not good. That's not good. Georgia had 274 yards passing, 255 yards rushing. So that's 500 and something as well for Georgia. So, but anyway, Georgia wins. We'll get some of you guys, some of your comments. Miss Amber says, go Dogs. So why do you think Georgia's in? These are the glory days, Wendell Sloan says. Have to believe that. Back in the 1980 to 83, Georgia did very well, over the 3-season span or 2-season span, but nothing compares to what's happening right now for the University of Georgia. Dana says, way to go, Georgia. We are SEC champions, indeed. And heck yeah, go Dogs, Miss Angela. So here's what's coming up now. If you have, did Tulane win? Checking with my computer. My producer. Did Tulane win? They did. Okay. So Tulane wins their game. Now coming up, you have Clemson against North Carolina in the ACC championship game. Clemson is favored in that game. Somebody opened the window, didn't they? So you have Clemson favored in that game against North Carolina. That's at 8:00. But the game that really has a lot of interest for Georgia fans, for those who will be involved in the college football playoffs, is the Purdue Boilermakers, 8-4 on the year, taking on Michigan. That's at 8:00. Oh boy, it's that time of the year. So Georgia now wins. Georgia probably will be in the Peach Bowl in a semifinal game against whoever they're going to play. But that's 27 or 28 days away from now. It will be in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz. So the next time Georgia plays, it'll be in Atlanta again at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they'll be playing, I don't know, will they be playing Ohio State? Will they be playing TCU? We're watching on our monitor the Georgia Bulldogs about to receive the trophy. And what is it with the big hats now? I mean, these gigantic hat-looking things. What? Did I miss something? What is that? What is that? And Neuheisel has a cowboy hat on. Now, why does okay. That's a question for another time. Scotty, go Dogs. How about them number 1 ranked defending national champions? So here we said Georgia now is a game away from playing in the national championship. You win one more game and you're going to play for a national championship. You're 2 games away, 2 wins away from winning back-to-back national championships. And so, what is your speculation? It's just a lot of unknown. I would say it's gonna be Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and Ohio State. That is my best guess. But I'm not in the room. They didn't invite me to be a part of that. So I don't know. But the big thing is Georgia has won the SEC championship. Georgia's 13-0, playing in the next semifinal round. It was a little dicey there. I mean, this game was not an easy game. LSU came and they played hard. And Jaden Daniels got hurt, but Nussmeier, what an arm on that dude. Backup quarterback for LSU. So Georgia, the only kind of negative thing you want to say is Georgia gave up 502 yards passing in this game. And so, a passing team, I don't know. But hey, we're going to celebrate. We're watching the monitor now. Stetson Bennett has received the most valuable player in the SEC championship game. The mailman has delivered. The milkman has delivered, and he's holding the most valuable player trophy for the SEC championship game. And Georgia head coach Kirby Smart is about to receive the big trophy for being SEC champions. So Georgia now, they win the next game. They're defending their national championship. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, here on Dogs on Demand on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube in the coming days as we lead up to the next game for Georgia to play, we're going to give you a lot of information. We'll be interviewing a lot of guys. We'll be talking to a lot of folks. We'll try to keep you up to date on the latest, what is happening with Georgia. And then, of course, we'll focus in on the opponent that Georgia will have in the first round of the playoffs, whoever that opponent may be. And so, for the latest of what's going to happen with the University of Georgia, stay with us on Dogs on Demand on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And we really appreciate and thank so much Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs, for all that Southeast Mortgage does to make what we do here possible. We appreciate Southeast Mortgage. They're great folks. When it comes time for you to finance or refinance your home, reach out to the folks at Southeast Mortgage. You can go to southeastmortgage.com/UGA. You'll find the contact information there. I broke bread with these folks. We've shared meals together. We've talked a lot. And these are people who are professional. They know what they're doing. And they help everybody. They treat every customer the same. There's not a big customer. There's not a little customer. There's just somebody that they can help. And they do a wonderful job. So Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs, and Greg Sankey now stepping in. And he'll be giving the trophy, the SEC football championship trophy, to the University of Georgia. Georgia did not win the SEC championship last year, of course. Alabama won, but Georgia winning it this year. And so, by the way, I guess this is it. There's a new contract, television contract, and CBS won't be doing this for the SEC, right? I forgot all the details of the thing. So this may be the last we hear of our good friend Gary Danielson, I suppose. Could be. Hey, Devon, how you doing, my man? Devon Jones, our good buddy up in Virginia. Appreciate it. Do you think Alabama has a chance to get in? Devon, it's going to be hard for a team with 2 losses to get in. I just feel like it's going to be hard. Even though those 2 losses that Alabama had, the last play of the game in each one of those losses with LSU and with Tennessee, I would listen. I just don't think Alabama's going to get in. I think it's going to be. I think Georgia Michigan, if Michigan wins now, if Michigan, and maybe even if Michigan loses, I think Georgia, Michigan, and TCU are pretty much in, even though TCU lost today. They lost it in overtime, tight game against a top 10 opponent. Kansas State was what? The number 10, number 9 ranked team in the country. So I just, if Alabama had a one loss, if Alabama had not lost that game like to Tennessee or to LSU, if Alabama was sitting there with just one loss, I think Alabama would certainly be in the playoffs. I just don't. As I sit here and guess at it now, I don't think Alabama's going to make it. But listen, there was some validity to what Gary Danielson was saying, in the game, even though it's irritating as all get out, about resume versus the best. I think if you took the 4 best teams in the country, if you just took the 4 best teams in the country, I think 3 of those teams would be from the SEC. I really do. I think I think Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama, if you just took the best, would be in, and you'd have a Big Ten team in there, maybe Michigan. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Alabama's going to make it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Well, that's hedging, isn't it? I don't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised. Napoleon, go Dogs. Yes, sir. Awesome. Georgia now has that trophy, and it's going to be in the trophy case. Hey, Randy, how you doing, my man, from Tifton, Georgia? Good day to be a dog, is it not? Lisa Hall, go Dogs. Indeed. Well, guys, it's been a good day. Good night for Georgia. So, listen, hang on. Hang on. That Purdue Michigan thing is, excuse me, going to be starting pretty soon here. So, am I losing my voice? I didn't. I was calm during this game. I mumbled a lot, rumbled a lot, but I was calm. So, Purdue and Michigan, we're going to be watching it, and we'll have a clearer picture. And we'll know by lunch tomorrow. Thanks, my friend. Hope you have yes, Damon Jones, a good buddy from up in Virginia. If you're ever isn't it Mikado's? I think Damon is at Mikado's and up in Virginia. Yes, he'll do you a great job. He's a waiter there, and he's just a good guy. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Go Dogs, SEC champions. There you go. Let's wait and see what happens. We'll probably be with you on Monday night. And then we have, our last 2 guests on our podcast have been pretty impressive. David Pollock, Georgia great. He was with us recently. Aaron Murray was with us last week, and we're lining up some good guests to be with us as we look forward to the next game for the University of Georgia, which will be a college football playoff semifinal game. It will be in the Peach Bowl. It will be in Atlanta because Georgia most definitely is the number 1 seed. So there you go. All right, guys. It's good to have you with us here on Dogs on Demand on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Stick with us. We'll keep you up to date with what's going on in the with the University of Georgia. One more. I know we won the game, but our defense was not at its best. A little concerning about giving up that many yards passing. Yeah. So anyway, I'm sure there's going to be some discussion about that and work with that at the University of Georgia with our defense. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Go Dogs. Congratulations to Dog Nation and to Coach Kirby Smart, Stetson Bennett, and all the team from all of our football team. Great win for the University of Georgia, SEC champions, 1 game away from defending that national championship. Join us again sometime this week. Until then, this is Chris Hall for Dogs on Demand on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.